Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at some figures from the 3 3/4 inch line of the Black series. We're playing catch up with some of these reviews. Some of them are from older waves and a couple of them are from two of the more recent waves from the Black series. So got quite a mix of figures to give you a look at, and we're going to kick things off with everyone's favourite army builder in my opinion. It's a clone trooper and it's this guy, the 41st Elite Clone Trooper. Now, rest assured, this is not the incorrect version that was released at the beginning of the Black Series line. This is indeed the corrected variant, with all the appropriate paint applications and the correct deco for his Legion. And I'll talk about all those errors and corrections in just a moment. But as always, we're going to take a look at the packaging that this guy comes in first. And here it is. Really nice design to the Black Series packaging. If you've seen any of my previous reviews, you'll know that I still sit slightly on the fence in terms of this design. It still has absolutely nothing on the vintage collection. You know, those vintage card backs will always hold a very special place in my heart, and they'll never be topped. But this isn't bad, you know. It's a little bit plain, it's a little bit minimal and generic and a little bit boring. But it does give a very nice, professional and very adult feel to these figures, so that's never really a bad thing, is it? One thing to point out is the fact that these orange and black colour schemes that we'll be seeing will be disappearing in coming months with some of the future releases of the figures in the Black series. We'll be seeing a much more interesting TIE Fighter pilot themed card back with sort of a throwback to the Legacy collection with the helmet as the card. We'll also have blue highlights. Sorry, I'm confusing my sides there. We'll have blue highlights instead of orange, and overall we'll just have a much more interesting card for these figures. So that's never a bad thing, is it? In terms of this packaging, however, we went off on a little bit of a tangent there. We do have the glossy Star Wars logo at the top, as well as an image of the Clone Trooper at the side. On the back we have a description of the character as well as a still image from the film. Now these guys can be seen very briefly in Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, just prior to the Battle of Kashyyyk. They can be seen on the Coruscant landing platform. So that is the cardboard. Now let's take a look at the plastic inside, and here he is. As I said, this is a reasonable figure. Really do like it. Has its faults, but nothing too major. As I said, the main thing to point out is the fact that this is actually the corrected version. When Hasbro first released this 41st Elite Core Clone Trooper, they released him with incorrect paint apps. So the shoulder pads were missing, shin pads were missing, and he didn't have half as much weathering as this guy does. So he was incorrect, and fans, you know, weren't too pleased with that. Many of us, you know, begged to question how it managed to get through quality control with so many missing paint applications. But it's nice to see that Hasbro took notice of this and went back and revisited it, although there isn't really an excuse for not getting it right the first time. The figure itself is very cool. I'll run through articulation first, and then I'll run through some of the finer details. He does have a ball jointed head. He has hinged shoulders and elbows, hinged wrists, a ball jointed torso, hinged hips, hinged knees, and hinged ankles. So absolutely 100% super articulated. As you can see, he does come with a DC-15S carbine pistol, and he also features a removable helmet. Underneath we have a portrait of the younger clones seen in Attack of the Clones Episode 2, and these are based off the actor Bodie Taylor as opposed to the Jango Fett clone himself, Temuera Morrison. The figure itself is based on a previously released Clone Trooper. If you remember back to the Vintage Collection, I believe it was Vintage Collection figure number 45, the Episode 2 Clone Trooper. This is just a repaint, which is the norm with Clone Troopers for the most part. The body is exactly the same, it's just been given these new markings to depict its Legion. As you can see, it's been given these black scuff marks all over the armour to give it some weathering, which I really like. And he's also got a well, not a brand new helmet, but a Phase 2 helmet, which unfortunately hasn't been, you know, revised and revisited and made better. For the Vintage Collection 45 Clone Trooper, we saw a brand new Episode 2 Phase 1 style helmet, although with this guy we're still seeing that rather oversized and very soft and rubbery helmet that we've seen with figures since 2005 when Revenge of the Sith first came out. So that's the only flaw I really have with this figure. If it wasn't for the helmet, this would have been a solid 10 out of 10, and it would have been an absolutely fantastic army builder. But because he's just ever so slightly at fault, you know, I'll just be getting one of these guys and leaving it at that. But a great figure nonetheless. He's available in stores now as a revised case of Wave 3, I believe, and he's definitely worth picking up if you are a Clone Trooper fan. So that's going to do it for this review on the 41st Elite Corps Clone Trooper. He was originally released as part of Wave 2. However, as I said, this figure is currently shipping with revised cases of Wave 3. I may be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure you can still get this guy in store. If not, there is a link in the video description where you can pick this one up at staractionfigures.co.uk. So there we go, the 41st Elite Corps Clone Trooper. Hope you've enjoyed this review, and I'll be back with many more very soon. Got a ton of cool figures and Lego sets and all sorts of other cool collectibles to show you. So stay tuned for all of those, and until next time, as always, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.